Oh, right, we're live. Hey, gang. How we doing? Yep. Today we're doing some more character sketching. Same project, same vibe. Um, I think like we did yesterday, we'll go ahead and start with just some warming up, some posing. Before we get into character sketching proper. Music wise today, essentially we're listening to my Wrapped favorite music of the year. Most listened to music of the year, definitely. So this is the big do we like Jacob's taste in music test. See how that goes. A lot of Doja Cat this year. Yeah, Doja Cat was my favorite artist, my most listened to artist this year. I had a sneaking suspicion that would be the case. I feel like you always do, right? But it's a big upset because the last like 5 years, my most listened to artist has been Anderson .Paak. He was also, and it's a little unfair because he was second, and No Worries was like fourth. So but she did beat him out as like a solo artist. Adam Keshi, whomst I don't know. Wait, yes, I do. KM, Bad Omens, whom we know, and Maison Des, whom we also know. I forget my exact one. I know it was Doja, Anderson .Paak, Ray, maybe Ray, and then No Worries. Forget the fifth as well. But what was your number one bop? Yeah, top song. Mine was Bust It Down, Ray. Been listening to that one a lot. 95 times. Gee, Rick. What have you been listening to a bunch? Like a bunch, a bunch. Is it like Dance Elixir? Is it that one? Yeah, yeah. Even though you told me you'd slowed down on that one. How many times though? They give you the number this time? Or they always do, but they give you the number in the Wrapped. Yo, January Holy, how you doing? How you doing? We're talking Spotify Wrapped. Cocoa butter kisses. Because like it was not even close. Mine was Ray Buzz It Down 95 times, and then it was Billy Joel Moving Out 48 times or something. And then a Maison Des song, I'm assuming. So Beautiful. Dream. Safe in the Rain. I have Bad Biddy at number 28. $223 is insane. What? Do you do anything else but listen to music? That's wild. Dude, that's crazy. I listened to a song 95 times. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, it's 60% of the listen you usually do. How many minutes you up to? I think I was at 70 some thousand minutes. I guess you just listen more to the same music then. That's wild to me. So I actually listened to more music than you did this year, but you just fire up the same bangers. SoundCloud. That's fair. Yeah, I never use SoundCloud. And YouTube, yeah, I mean I do some of that, but very little actually. Mostly Tiny Desks, online concerts. Right, right, right. 223 times the same song. Are your playlists very short? I don't know. It's people who spam way more. Yeah, yeah. It's just I felt like I was spamming, man. I felt like I was spamming my top song, and that was 95. Oh my god, cheap viewers for me? And you say all I have to do is click that link and put in my credit card information? Maybe my address and age? Damn. It's a little funny to me that all the artists I follow, like visual artists, um, still post their Spotify Wrapped. Like, and some of them, it's like, of course, some people have like more diversified social media profiles, but I feel like a good chunk of them are people that just post art normally, and then it's like, well, okay, but also you gotta know about my music taste. That's everyone. Yeah. And, you know, I might cave too. I guess that's all of social media as well, where it's a bit of like a, why do you care that I know? Why should I care? What's the? But I guess that's the point of it. Longer legs, always longer legs. Yes, incorrect proportions. We love that. They're just pushed. Yeah. One more pose. I don't know why. There's something about layering drawings that have nothing to do with each other on top of each other that's appealing to me. There's something about the mess that's appealing to me. This reminds me of and this is a little cursed. Uh, take note of your level of respect towards me now and then after I finish the sentence. But in high school, I would write through all the way through my notebooks once in pencil, and then I would write over top of that in pen. Because obviously, pen is a higher contrast medium. So as soon as you draw over or like write over the pencil in pen, only the pen is really legible, and the pen is legible because it's like exactly what we're doing right now. So what stands out to you is the black of the ink. Cause weird and cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause weird and cool. That's what I'm saying. I mean, sure, maybe it's the same. I don't have to be quirky and different. It just feels different, because it's like because when you're writing math over math, it feels a little bit different than drawing over a drawing. Hi, hello, and Nama PJ40E. How you doing? It's gonna be good once we get like a bigger viewer count on both platforms because I'm like multi-streaming to Twitch and YouTube, right? Because the viewer experience at some point is just gonna be like on both sides. Oh, he just hears voices, huh? I do studies daily without fail. No, I do studies most days. Um, but I do fail, and I do like take weekends, and in the weekends I often do it, but I don't sweat it. But I very rarely, if ever, miss twice in a row. I very rarely don't draw 2 days in a row. And when I do draw, I typically warm up with some sort of study, some sort of drawing from reference. Whoops. He's falling a little bit. It's also, I mean, I guess talking comfort zone, drawing from reference is more of a comfort zone for me. I do that better than I draw from imagination. Although I guess this was referenced, this was from memory, this was referenced, this is referenced. So I do a mix, but it's just something. It's something that's easy for me to do relatively to designing or illustrating an original composition. If those other things felt as easy to me, I'd probably have more days where I wasn't drawing from reference or doing some sort of studying. I don't know, like a baton or something. That doesn't, I don't know, man. Oh, right. Good baton like that too. Alrighty then. We did yet. Okay, let me just. I'm gonna grab this one. Grab this sketch here. Whoop. And oh, I don't know if you're still here, Yorda. This is that other sketch I did yesterday. And this is a Jenny sketch. I know it doesn't feel like it. Couple things off here. It's too detail dense. The hair is out of character. Most of it is just out of character, which is why I like the other one. It was a fun sketch to do, regardless. We did get this yesterday. I also did a couple of variations on this one. I wonder where those went. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, here we go. They're down here. Just some different ideas on the headpiece. That's really the only variation here. But what I wanted to do right now was get in here and try to tweak some things, push and pull some shape relationships and some silhouette, and see if we can do anything that feels a little bit more like a design, a little bit more intentional, and a little bit less like a stream of consciousness drawing. Ask Mika has been recently starting following me and liked my art style. Cast and form shadows. Yeah, I mean, how do I approach cast and form shadows? So I do a very inked style. So typically, they end up looking quite the same in more of an inked style. Right, here's the skirt over the legs, and let's think, I guess we're looking down at these legs. We should be anyway. The typical tip that you'll get is cast shadows are sharp, form shadows are soft. And it tends to be correct to a degree. Cast shadows are sharper the closer they are to the source casting them. And form shadows are sharper the tighter the form is. But if you cast a shadow, really far, it'll soften out. And if you have a really tight circular form, the shadow will be the form shadow will be relatively sharp. But yeah, a general tip is cast shadows are often sharper, form shadows are often softer, right? But that's essentially like a painting tip. Yeah. If you're talking stylistically, what do I do? Something that's fun is often just dropping cast shadows completely into dark. Kind of like what I've just done under the knee here, or above the knee here. And then form shadows, I think I tend to be way more selective with in the ink, and more typically, I would do form shadows in the coloring, not in the inking, right? Because I do sort of like a pseudo drawn, pseudo painted style. So that's the main difference maker in my style right now, is cast shadows often in ink, form shadows mainly in the coloring, right? Okay, I hope any of that rambling was helpful. And now to remove some of this demo. Yep. Something I wanted to try on this character was a skirt. And let me just find that skirt because it's a particular one. Happy to help. Happy to help. You also want to see the cropped puffy. Okay, we'll try that. We'll try that. Grab you, copy you, paste you, merge you, hide you, move you. Oh, actually, let me just put that in my reference document. I probably need a little bit more shoulder, actually. This looked freaky until it doesn't anymore because we're just trying to convert a front view to a back view real quick. Cool. Right. The first thing I want to do uses mostly the same costume. A little bit more space for the shoulders. And then, yeah. Big old belt. And then quite tall boots for the base outfit that we're working with. I've started doing this. It's almost like a piano emote where I, after doing like some keyboard inputs, I'll whip up my hand like this because I started wearing like a bracelet. So it feels like hitting a note on the piano like a, because I'll do my keyboard shit and then I'll whip the hand. Yeah, yeah, it is very fancy. Yeah, and I suspect, well, in a second at least, we'll try some variations on the boots as well. One, two, three. About three of these. The eagle emote. There's like a streamer wrapped thing too, like a set of stats that Twitch gives its streamers. I'm hoping we can get the eagle emote above 100 before the end of the year. But okay, but don't force it. Now that I've said that, don't force it. Act natural, act cool. And then yeah, yeah, yeah. Hoping that that'll get us there still. Yeah, you can't just start spamming it for the achievement now. Still don't fully know what the fabric is for that. Guess I should figure that out soon, huh? Which hand is that? That will be her left arm. So essentially, right now we're just building our fashion mannequin to then do some more targeted iteration over. Because this specific design has reached a point where it's I need targeted iteration rather than just like free-form sketching exploration. Feels like a long arm. Need some form of decoration going on here as well. It's a little messy. We'll figure that out. But definitely need some sort of detail here. It could be a necklace. Could be a print on the shirt, honestly. Something. And then what do? We have choker on here. And hair. Long ass hair. The emo bangs. Cool. Cool. Long time no art. Not true, not true. I've been on the grind. It's every day, bro. It's every day, bro. C'est quotidien, frérot. C'est quotidien. You know art. Oh no, Sucor. What are you doing to yourself? Oui, baguette. Yeah. Yes, design. Let's go. We can do that. Edgy print on the t-shirt. Edgy skull, big old skull print, edgy print on the t-shirt. That's a little wonky. But sure, thanks. Big old edgy. Skull and crossbones. Very temp. I just need to let myself know that something goes here. Probably you also need some sort of, or it could be cool to have some sort of tattoo show through the gap in the shirt. This is horrible. This is really bad. That's not going to be the print for sure. You're my soda pup, my little soda pop. Yes, I passed the quick time event. Just a drink? No, it's the new Saja. New is crazy. It's the Saja Boys hit. That I also don't really like. I feel like I'm abusing the motif of the bow. All right. Now, there was a specific thing that I wanted to try doing here, which was that skirt. We talked about that skirt. No, no. Sometimes, the muse leads you elsewhere. Spent your time on that guy. Oh, drawing him. Okay, I see. Well, get back to drawing faces then. Smash that like button. Oh no, a name I really can't do. Oh, I'm sorry. You'll be 504? Thanks for following. This is a skirt that you'll be able to find on Wisdom's Instagram if you just scroll for a little bit. I just thought it had a really nice, interesting silhouette, and I wanted to try it on this character here. Thought it fit like decently well. It's very likely too much. I just wanted to try a bit more of a statement for the silhouette before we settled into something that risked being boring. And then the other thing is, I think if I do that skirt, I'd like the boots to be lower. To get this little bit of negative space here. Although, I don't know, man. That's a little bit samey. It does not feel agile enough to me. Yeah, that's actually a big thing. Yeah, yeah. Oh well, had to try it. Wait, I wanted to. Give me a second. I also think that if we do like a skirt like that, the bows is just too much noise. He says and draws a very noisy tight instead. But I think this is better still because like it's less crazy overlapping strings and shit. And you could simplify that even more. Yeah, Knuckles called. He wants his boots back. Hmm. Let's just do the hands real quick. Oh, I've got tea. Man, already cold. Yeah, not quite getting there today, huh? But now let's just copy those hands real quick. Just paste them in a couple spots. Now let's do something else. Let's do something else. Let's try to make those like arm warmers. And try that cropped puffer vest. Back to my puffer reference. A little more space for an arm, I think. One, two, three, four. There you go. But, oh no, this crop puffer completely hides the back tattoo. Bad, bad, not good. I think it should be, if we do this though, it's better if it's asymmetrical. Let's silhouette check this one. Whoops. There you go. Here we are. Here we are. Reacting to the music, not the drawing, unfortunately. I don't know. Silhouette feels decently interesting. I don't know how I feel about the headpiece. Probably something like that. Oh, also, this gap's important. And wait, no. There you go. This is crazy that the headpiece this is like slightly out of perspective and you can tell in the silhouette. The groove. Oh, whatever, man. This feels like a classic lower the table, lock in type of situation. We'll do that. Alrighty then. What else we got? That's the puffer. We tried skirt. Skirt didn't work super well. Want to try the plunging neckline again? Well, hello there. I am TreeVT. How you doing? Not what we were. How you doing? Could be better. Oh man. No, I'm good. I basically couldn't be better. I think everything's great. Art's looking amazing as always. Aw, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Thinky. I know corsets aren't like classically the most agile clothing, but they look like they are. It's like a thin, elegant silhouette, right? It's a dynamic shape. So I think it's within the realm of, since we're already dealing with like a pushed stylized design space. I think if you're willing, you can suspend your disbelief. Okay. Can restrict movement. Oh, for sure. And that would be the argument why just the band is better. Just like there's a way to make that more interesting. Go ahead and lurk. Hi. Your drawings look so cool. Thank you. Itadori-kun. Yuji Itadori. How you doing? Trying to work out some character design nuances that are a little tricky. It's a way of going about it. Okay, let's just do the black and white like material thing to some of these now. See how they feel, slightly more fleshed out, and then move on to something else. Maybe think about them on the side. I don't think I found any big solutions today. But I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Maybe some of this is usable. Hello, good morning, Gohan. How you doing? What's up? What's up? What's up? Doing good, chilling and drawing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Me too. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That's the same amount. Any wolf cut baddies today? Not yet. That's hella not a... Okay. So there is hope. GG. Yeah, there's hope. There's hope. I mean, we'll see. Right. We have that. This is one. This is one that we might as well do. The puffer. What else we got? Yeah, let's do one of the skirt ones. Just to have it out here. Oh, I guess let's do the other one then. Puffer. And then this, wait, yeah, I guess that's that one, and there's that one. What reference do I use for posing for characters? Whatever I can get my hands on. It's a lot of it's Pinterest or my brain. I very rarely buy reference packs. Okay. Do. Grab everything here. Thank you. Okay, the reason you ask is Marvel Rivals. Yeah, okay, so that is, and that comes from, yeah, learning to push reference from, and the easiest thing is to start with reference and then exaggerate that reference. And then it's just like hundreds and hundreds of times, well, that's my approach at least, hundreds and hundreds of times copying artists who were able to do that sort of thing. And then trying to do it on your own. I really like that type of posing as well. I don't do it as much as I would if I had infinite money. If I had infinite money, all my poses would be like that. But we don't have infinite money yet, so we'll do that later. It's just that shit where it's like hyper dynamic, more than you could ever make it if you had to like follow actual human anatomy without pushing it. And grab this one. They also got to be hiring real people to get close to that pose. Yeah, but I guess the trick is that sort of thing is really difficult to do. So learning to do it, I think, like learning to do it to a point where you're hireable takes a long time. And not very many products do like hyper stylized gesture. And I don't know what you're talking about, so maybe it's actually less stylized than what I'm imagining. But I guess what I'm talking about, let's find a good example real quick. One of my favorite artists is this guy, Madao, Madao. And his figures are always pushed into poses that essentially would hurt to assume if you're a human being. Like this type of posing, right? This is what I'm talking about, where it's like, okay, here's your rib cage, and then boom, there's your back. And just like not a lot of intellectual properties pose their figures like this. Because it's wrong, right? It's incorrect, and it requires a lot of bravery for that reason. And he does it a lot, right? Where it's like humans don't do that unless you really, really try to do that specific thing for that specific shape. It's not a natural pose. Anyway, I think doing this well just requires a lot of time and study. And if you don't do it really well, I don't think you're going to get a job from it. So it feels safer to go for like a more naturalistic, slightly more naturalistic posing, and then learn this later. Can you link a page and show example? I mean, sure. All right. Now we grab like white. And then an Imgur. No, this is all good. Yeah. These are like pushed, but not to the degree that Madao does it. Yeah. That's kind of the degree of pushing the pose that I then aim to do instead, until I get goated enough at the first thing that I can just do that. But stuff like that, I mean, to me, that's mileage. It's studying artists. It's studying reference and trying to exaggerate it, and then it's just doing that again and again and again. Just be goated is the solution. The thing about being goated is it's quite hard to do from the beginning, as in so hard that I wouldn't recommend trying to do that from the beginning. Better than to have a plan where you start out not having to be goaded, and then in the later stages of the plan, you can be goaded. Yeah, I'm just saying, I mean, don't expect to start at 100, right? It's funny how, like, Gen Z dude bro slang and, like, alternative holistic clairvoyant speak, it can agree on, like, one thing. Aura, the slang term aura, dude bro slang, holistic clairvoyance, aura. And then everything else, it's like they cannot talk to each other. Scary and sporty. What he really, really wants is a Spice Girl. No, it might be from, like, Crystal TikTok, who knows? It is originally from, you know, the more holistic space. And I don't know if it's like, if it's like a Hinduism or, but it's definitely from like a spiritual space originally. Let me ask my parents. I think Google would give you the right answer faster. And then, so the entire reason I did this is then maybe this thing here could be leather. Okay. Um, yeah, looks fine, looks fine. Little lighter on that, maybe? Dark midtone, light midtone type beat. How we feeling? How we feeling? Well, you're supposed to be chrome. Here is dark midtone type beat. Bubblegum is light midtone type beat. Lips are at the very least dark midtone type beat. And headpiece. It's not a hat, Jacob. Headpiece should be chrome too. At least that's the current lore. So this is, yeah, what's this? Oh, I don't have the bass one. We should do the bass one too. Yeah, we should do the bass one too. Where you at? Okay, yeah. Sketch. Name you sketch and hide you. Name you sketch. Disappear. So the bass has the band. Did I draw it? Yeah, it's something like that. And then get rid of you. And then, no, and then. And I need to do, if we do this, we need to shrink, choose one of the bows to shrink. Because it's too much bow motif of this exact same size. But that we can maybe do. Maybe. Speaking of Go to Doja Do V1, my most listened to artist this year. My most listened to artist this year. And then if we do that, it's you. Whoops. Not what I meant to do. There you go. Boots are essentially the same. There you go. Yeah. Oh. Okay, okay. You're definitely like, did I do Chrome? No, we're doing hunka metal. We're doing hunka metal. There you go. Something like that. Okay. Okay. I mean, no miracles today. That's alright. That's how it goes sometimes. Let's see here. Oh, gotta switch the reference layer. There you go. And then it just works. It just works. Mm. Oh, whoops. This is the introduction to the Ray album that has snuck its way into spot number 42 on my most listened to songs this year. That's funny. I guess we gotta go like dark for the puffer. And here's the introduction. That's funny. Here's the introduction for the No Worries album that has snuck its way into the spot number 43 on my most listened to songs this year. I'm an album guy, huh? He is not a playlist listener. Puffer, puffer, puffer reference. Yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. That's a puffer jacket material. Cool. What else? What else? And chrome like jewelry. Huh? Oh, this is because, right. One of them I actually tilted the head and the other I didn't. There you go. Still think the tilted head is a better gesture. Cool. Is that the puffer one? I think it is. Yeah. Okay, let's do the last one, then a little break, and then come back to something a bit looser, probably. Put the reference on you. And where are we putting the light? Over by the, okay. Over to the right. Cool. Cool, there you go. And I guess that would be the, yeah, that would be the argument, to have the boots be lower for this. Or, well, maybe, okay. Hold the phone. Maybe it's good to have a big grouped dark shape instead of a bunch of little islands. That actually tends to be the case. Go off. Cool. I mean, made it this far. Might as well, right? Cool. Whoops. Try that again. Give me a second. There you go. Yeah. That's kind of about it, huh? Hi, Maki Senin. What's with the what's with the JJK names today? I mean, I guess you can be Itadori-kun without being Yuji, but still. How you doing? How you doing? Did you guys conspire, or are you just like coincidental lone agents, lone wolves? Yeah, this one we just do like so, and yes, like so. I am good too. I am good. Yeah, just concepting away. Black nails, black nails, black nails. Do. Yeah, am I missing anything? Okay, the knives. Keep getting distracted. Itadori-kun was you too? Damn. Damn. You were trying to scam me, huh? Can you eat the drawings? You can try. I don't know. I wouldn't. I'd advise against it, but I mean, I guess I can't stop you if you've got a printer. I don't know what I'm to do. What's with the? Is this too? Why oh, that's why. That's why. That one. All right, there we go. I don't know if any of this is like it, but it's there. Also, okay, let's just quickly do a version where they're not like pure white. And how would we do that? We would do that by going like that and like that, and then setting this to multiply. Nope. Incorrect, Jacob. Incorrect. I want the white to be less strong. Darken then? Yeah, we got him. We got him. Cool. You wanted to ask me one more question. Is cast shadows tend to have low values compared to form shadows? No. Um, let's do a super quick demo. Let's do a super quick sphere demo. So what we're doing now is I'm placing, say, a gray orb on a lighter gray surface. Okay? So this is our gray orb. And here is our lighter gray surface. Cool. Now, if we have no light at all, right? Let's start. I always like to start from a black void. If we start from a black void, we see nothing. We see absolutely nothing, right? Then let's add one light source to the upper right. Okay, I have now, and we're not going to get perfect shapes because I just want you to get the general understanding. We're adding one light source to the upper right. I'm doing that first by completely illuminating. Oh, it's not connected. Give me a second. Like just from a logistical perspective, I am adding this light source from the upper right by completely illuminating the plane here. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Give me a second. Give me a second. Illuminating the ball, completely illuminating the plane, then drawing my little cast shadow here. Okay, in a perfect black void with only one light source, and let me just actually remove the noise that I have in the background here. In a perfectly black void with only one light source, you'd have the light come in from the top right. Let me get a brush here. It would hit the orb, and then it would hit the plane. And then what happens is, even with this one light source, because we have a plane down here, we get some bounce light. So the light bounces off the plane and will then illuminate the underside of the ball a little bit. The plane turns into a light source as it's bouncing the light that's hitting it. Also, let me just... Right. Let's start there, actually. Let's start there. For that reason, the form shadow gets illuminated. We get a little bit of bounce light over here. And we get what's called the core of the shadow. Or the terminator. Right at the terminator, you get the shadow core, which is the darkest part of a shadow that has some bounce light. Cool. The other thing, so bounce light is one thing that really changes the value of your shadows. And something to be really aware of when you're then rendering these shadows. Something to note is that bounce light never illuminates any form brighter than the original light source. So this area up here is way lighter than this area down here. You might have heard that the darkest light is lighter than the lightest dark. That's what that means. The darkest value up here needs to be lighter than the lightest value down here. This is a lot of information. I'll clip it for you later. I'll highlight it for you later so you can return to it. Now, it would be nice if the world was this perfect. But in reality, you tend to get more than one light source. Which means we want to exit the completely dark void. And once we exit the completely dark void, we get ambient lighting or global illumination. And ambient lighting or global illumination means that most shadows are not completely dark. Very rarely does it happen that shadows are completely black. And the only reason where you can responsibly make shadows completely black is in crevices where this ambient light can't reach. That's what is referred to as ambient occlusion. And in the case of this demo, it would happen between the plane and the ball. Here you'd have a lot of ambient occlusion where the global light coming from everywhere can't reach this deepest crevice between these two surfaces. And you get this darkness. Of course, now we're going to remember that cast shadows aren't completely sharp, but just tend to be sharper than form shadows. And let me just add like an active highlight on this orb, or a passive highlight. We're doing very diffuse materials right now to simplify. And now you have a simple version. Let me see, where is that actually? It's here. Yeah. Of like a sphere demo. There's a lot going on. This is how I tend to think of it. I start with a dark void, and then from the dark void, I add light sources. Do form shadows tend to be brighter than cast shadows? No. It's just a matter of where's your bounce light really reaching? Where's the bounce light hitting? Because if we go back to the dark void here, not a lot of bounce light is going to hit the cast shadow. Right? All the bounce light in this void setup goes on the ball from the plane. No bounce light goes from the ball to this cast shadow. And so in certain scenarios, like this dark void setup, the cast shadow would indeed be darker than the form shadow. That was a lot of information. It was also slightly rambly. I think it was okay. I think decently structured off the cuff. But there you go. Cool. I only have 15 minutes left, but I simply have to take a bathroom break. I will marker that one. I don't know if that clips very well for whoops. I don't know if that clips very well for like a for a TikTok, but there you go. Oh, and Helena said thanks for following. I missed that in the midst of that. Right, bathroom break, and then I'll be back with, I guess, closing the stream. Cool. So happy you liked the demo. 10 minutes. Let's export this and put it into the Miro board that I have with. Nope, doesn't work. Yeah, no, okay. Just gonna share this with the guy that I'm working on the project with. I don't know that I managed to properly solve anything today, but I think we did a good amount of iteration on this one character. Now we have some visuals that we can think about, look at later, figure out how much we like them, if anything needs changing. Big projects like this, it's always nice to get some visuals on the board, you know? You can't see what I'm doing right now. I'm just organizing the Miro board a little bit. Then send that to back and send that to back. No? Oh my god. There you go. There you go. Okay. And first one and third one, but got leaked gray color on their skin at hip area. Huh? Cannot say that I know how to interpret that. The sphere demo. Yeah. Well, cool. This is good because now I'm ready to move on to some other characters. Now I guess we vamp for 5 minutes. Why doesn't this work? It doesn't work because the torso gesture feels whack. It doesn't work because he's walking in too straight a line. Maybe. Like not enough of a man walk. If he's gonna be that hunched, he's probably got like a wide walk. I want him to be picking up a gun here. Like out of a holster. Which I think would happen higher. Holster more at hip height. Just concepting, sketching loosely some gangster bro now. Got a bunch of gangster bros in this property, so. Typically helps to do smaller eyes for more intimidating characters, male characters as well. A little too much of like a forward skew here, I think. Judith. Sure. And we'll work more on that some other day. For now, though, that's my time. That's all I got for you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining the stream. See you in the next one. Until then, have a good one.